Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Interesting song choice this morning from the Cosmos. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, I baked out my bathroom this last night. Bay leaves and sage. All right. I always do tell everybody who burns sage or anything, even if you burn incense and you're into candles, go to the craft section. This is not going out. Really now, y'all are funny. Y'all got jokes this morning. Thank you. Damn fire for that, right? Especially if you're somebody who's done something as silly as like turn off your smoke detectors, let it burn. It's easy for you to say I can't really read cards with a fire in the middle of my desk. Go to your camping section of, I don't care if you go to Walmart or whatever, go to a camping place and pick you up some of those little camper fire extinguishers. You know. I don't know. There's a spiritual renaissance happening with everybody getting into doing all this stuff. It's going to be like fireworks. You're not going to be able to buy sage sticks because people don't know how to be, fire safety, y'all. Fire safety. Sorry, I'm a Boy Scout mom. I'm going to grind that in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? How was your longest day of the year? I went ahead and left the fairy tale card out so that way I could shuffle for it this morning. Man, I'm still buzzing from the energy last night. That was crazy. I got some more fire pictures from last night, too, that I'm going to put up in the cord later. By the time we closed the circle out, I was so tired. I just wanted to get that circle cast post up so that we could go to bed. Yeah, it was nice. We went out and I went and got some thistles. Added some protection to the magic last night. We just did a bay leaf basic spell. Yeah, I got to watch a storm the other day. Ooh, we got the crossroads again. I keep saying that. I mean, it's always a choice at any point. Like, you don't have to wait for mystical, magical portals to open to change your life. A lot of people just need that confirmation that, you know what, I feel like it's a time, and usually the stars will line up with you, right? But you don't have to wait to have permission to make a change, right? Path, decisions, directions, and choices. Oh, that sounds awesome. I keep debating on whether I want to put a pool in my yard or not. Like, part of me really, really wants to put in a pool, but the other part of me was like, that's going to make my insurance go up. And I'm like, when did I become a grown-up? What should we do for our two top cards? Go with a fairy card this morning and an earth magic. I'm leaving the shadows alone for a while. I guess just until it feels right to bring them back. But I think everybody's aware of their shadows at this point. Someone was asking about shadow work earlier. and how to recognize, how to actually do it. And really, shadow work is just, shadow work is recognizing when you're mad at somebody else, everything that you do that you're mad at that person for doing, recognizing that, chances are you do a lot of it, you know, and owning that. I say that I learned, well, Rob says it to me too all the time too, that we learn a lot from each other. So he was born a year before me. It was a year and 2 days? No, a year minus 2 days. So anyway, we were born on the opposite ends of retrograding cycles ourselves, right? So my chart is one way with all the planets just starting to go into retrograde. And then Rob has all the planets on the other side getting ready to go direct on his chart. Is that it? Or the other way around? He was born first. I don't know. Either way, our charts are opposite, was what I was going for there. 3 of autumn, 6 of winter. So it's interesting because it means we have a ton of similarities because our charts are so very, very similar. But the only difference is in my chart, the planets are retrograde, and in his chart, the planets are direct. Yeah. His chart, they were direct, getting ready to go retrograde. And in my chart, they're retrograde, getting ready to go back direct. That's it. So antsy today. I didn't even drink a whole cup of coffee, but I'm just, I'm buzzing with energy this morning. I don't know what I'm going to get into. Looks like it's going to rain. Really want to cut my yard. I know there's big changes coming, y'all. There is big changes. There's a big shift definitely coming. And I have to be real quiet right now because it's funny. I call it timeline crashing, right? Because that's just kind of how I see it, right? It's like all these timelines are running. They're all running parallel to each other. And every now and then, it's like someone strums across the cord and all the timelines kind of collapse for a minute and they have to settle back out. I don't know. It's little things and it's weird things. Like if you've been dealing with a situation where you've been clearing a lot of family karma lately, you might notice things like your family can't talk about memories anymore. Because anytime they bring up a past situation or something like that or a memory, nobody remembers it quite the same. And I know that 50% of your memories are false, but I distinctly remember being able to sit around and reminisce and talk about stories and laugh. And everybody have the same basic memory of a situation. But now it's like people have completely different memories of what happened in the past. And it's made it very hard for everybody to have conversations because everybody's like, I remember it this way. Well, I remember it this way. Well, I remember it. And then they get defensive and then it turns into a fight. It's weird. It's weird. But we're trying to look at it. Maybe perhaps that's what is supposed to happen. In order to clear, just like everything else, but in order to clear your heart center and give you a heart center opening, the universe is going to completely shatter your heart freaking pieces, right? In order to expand your mind, the universe is going to break your mind and shatter it into a million pieces. I mean, that's essentially what the dark night of the soul is, right? You have your heart center opening, right? Wow. Something happens that forces you to make decisions and choices that you'd never thought you'd have to make, right? Oh, shit, that leave the dogs Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you. Troublemakers. Sorry. Usually I would not worry about it, but Draco's a bad boy, and he's been jumping the fence. He jumped the fence last night, so I don't trust him to stay in the yard without us out there. My bad. Whew. Now I am shaky and I did not have that much caffeine this morning. Y'all are so good for being so patient while I'm running around being a lunatic. I think that's the first time I've ever ran off camera on y'all. Or had to. Usually I'll be like, screw it. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not leaving. I'm not standing up, nothing. But oh well. All right. And just to give a run over what Cards and Coffee is again, if this is not your story, then chances are it's just someone within your collective story. So it's just either it's giving you perspective on your story or it's out to give you perspective on other people's stories, right? So on the 3D here, let's see what we got going on. I don't know if 44 is a big number for y'all. All right. It starts off here with the 5 of Wands, right? I got the wolves are circling, and they're circling around some kind of celebration, right? I feel like there's people out to try to mess up a celebration of some kind. I got the 4 of Pentacles here and the 4 of Wands, and then you got the King of Pentacles here at the bottom. So there's definitely a very controlling masculine energy involved here, right? And then you have the 4 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles here. But if you notice, those are both the feminine energy. So I feel like there's a feminine energy holding something together. Definitely a intense, controlling masculine. Now, this is upright, so he's not technically toxic, but he comes off that way for sure. And I feel like that's probably what these guys are trying to mess up. Because perspective is a B, right? I don't know why I got salt and pepper in my head now just then. Opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one. Not bad. I marked this as not for kids, y'all. I kind of want to do a kids channel with Alyssa, though. On the 4D, definitely over the 5 of Wands is the 5 of Swords. So people are aware of this energy happening, right? There's something else, though, to it, because there's a hard time seeing what's next or a hard time making a decision on where to move to forward, right? You get the Lover's card here in the middle of the spread on the 4D. You get the King of Swords here, a controlling of the thoughts and the words, right? Definitely trying to keep mastering of thoughts and words in order to keep control of everything else, right? Instead of like that toxic King of Pentacles, this is the actual energy, right? It's just, I'm not cold, it's just closed off. It's different, right? Definitely a nostalgic and looking back into the past, right? Which is probably why you got this going on, right? As you're looking back in the past. Timeline collapse. Timeline collapse. What? You got to peek at an old timeline. You're like, oh. I don't know. That 3D energy could be a little bit defensive. All right. So on the 5D here, it starts out with the Fool card, right? Taking the leap, right? Or taking a leap. And now the Fool card definitely is the taking the leap. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever decision you make is going to be either a lesson or a blessing. So it's accepting that before you take the leap. Whenever you're going to make a fool's decision or a fool's leap, and I say that in the sense that everybody else is telling you you're a fool for doing it, Yeah, you have to do it in full faith that whatever happens is going to work out for your best interest, right? We've got the Queen of Wands here, right? So for the Queen of Passion, I always find it as it's listening to your intuition when it comes to what you're passionate about, right? The Queens are about intuition, the Kings are about logic, right? Wands are about passion, right? This is taking control of your passion, but listening to your intuition while you follow it. That's following your passion instead of taking control of it, right? Right. Though there is some taking control of yourself here, right? Bad decision, bagel. Was anybody with me yesterday for that, right? Spit it out. I always get a vision of like your dogs, right? You ever like get your dog with the chicken bone, and when you go to grab them at first, even the sweetest dog will growl at you for a second, and you got to kind of pry it out of their mouth and be like, nah. A lot of defensive energy here. And I think it's the defensive energy here is because it's the immature passion, right? The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands thinks with his wand. Spit that out. It don't belong to you. Pretty much, right? Get that out of your mouth. You don't know where it's been. Terrible, 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 terrible. Yes, but there's definitely here, and I think it's a lot of self-control here as well, right? It's like following your passions, but definitely being in control of the immature aspects of it, right? Because you got some defensive energy here. And what is the defensive energy defensive against? The immature page, right? When you're dealing with empaths, and I don't think the masculines really understand this because I don't, like, they're aware of other people's feelings and things like that, but I don't think they're truly empathic when I talk about feeling the emotions coming off them. There's nothing quite as skeevy as when you're trying to get to know somebody on a genuine level, and then that's the only energy that comes off them is like, because you feel like this person lies. This person is, yeah, I like that music too. Yeah. Oh, I like this drink too. Oh, yeah. I like to do that too. Just anything. If I could just get into your pants later, I will agree to like anything that you like. And then that's how those relationships fall apart. Why? Because you lied about everything you liked at the beginning of it, right? That goes for friendships. That goes for any type of energy, right? I hate that one country song that does that. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I listened to her music and I was like, yeah, I like that. And I sipped her drink and I said, yeah, I like that. And I'm like, It was one of the biggest pet peeves. And it took my first husband like fucking 5 years to tell me that he didn't like to go fishing, that the only reason he took me when we first started dating was because I like to go. And he just pretended to like to go, Like, don't do that. Don't do that because it creates a false foundation. And what do false foundations lead to? They lead to towers. You have to be able to be honest with people. This era of lies and ignorance really does need to end, y'all, right? We got 6 of Winter here. Positive changes are on the way. A welcome relief from troubled times, traveling or relocation, right? And we got the 3 of Autumns. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talents. So that's the energy you guys definitely could be working with, right? It says here, forest, breathe, a lot of focusing on the breath still. We always say that the breath is the doorway between the physical and the spiritual realms, right? What's our boy Ralph say? Breathing in that good-ass prana, baby, right? And you should focus on that when you go out into nature and things like that. Focus in on how you're breathing in all this stuff from the atmosphere, right? You're breathing in. I mean, there's people who are breatharians that feel like they live off nothing but air and the energy that they get from breathing air, right? Now, granted, that is not what before anybody tries to starve themselves to freaking death, definitely look up that stuff. Those people aren't actually starving themselves, right? They just know how to live on the absolute bare minimum. All right. And don't do anything crazy without doctors, for sure. All right. So for our story card, we got the Crossroads today. Again. A path, a decision, directions, and choices. The path taken remains quintessential motif in the world of fairy tales. Many the hero or heroine is made at this crucial point. The road you take will influence everything else that happens. Where the crossroad appears in your spread, you have choices to be made. Which direction will be the best for you? There are many hidden faces here. These are your subconscious thoughts helping you make the most of this card. Do you take the left path or do you take the right path? You must weigh all the possibilities to make the right decision. This card won't give you all the answers, but the nearby ones might help clarify the situation. Pay attention to all the options available to you. The closer the card that represents you, then the more time sensitive the decision is. Sometimes the worst thing we can do is not make any decision at all. And that's the end of it. That is actually one of the things up in there in my deck of many things is what? Indecision is a decision. You can't be, people have a tendency of being mad at other people for moving on in their lives and stuff like that because the other person, and you were like, oh, da, 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 da. I'm like, dude, you never made a decision. Your indecision was a decision. Indecision is a decision. I'll switch it up today. I hate this deck because it's so stiff, right? That'll last a long time, but good God. She's tough to bridge. I guarantee every what if in your mind was because your decision was to be indecisive. Your decision was to not make a decision. Almost every what if in your mind is, what if I would have made a decision and actually done something? What if I would have done something? Because a lot of people wouldn't go back and change the past. Why? That would erase your kids. That would erase all these weird things that happened that were so wonderful. And it was like, yeah, there were some bad times, but I wouldn't give them up for anything. But what if I would have made this one decision differently, right? Everybody would have still been there, but, right? Life is so dramatic. All right, here we go. Aries, Page of Pentacles. Taurus, Page of Swords. A lot of page energy, y'all. I mean, I know it was just a solstice and everybody's all like fired up, but Gemini, the moon. Cancer, Three of Wands. Leo, King of Pentacles. Virgo, Eight of Wands. Libra, Four of Swords. I like how she's laying on a clock in that one, Libra. Scorpio, the World. Sagittarius, Page of Wands. Capricorn, Five of Pentacles. Aquarius, Two of Swords. Pisces, Ace of Cups. All right, y'all. I want to get one intuitive one. How are y'all doing today? Who's all in here? We got Miss Shrooms, constantly changing her name, Miss Ruth. I'll get you guys each a card. Thank you guys for showing up. I love when you guys participate. Makes it a little bit easier. It's hard when you're just talking to yourself. All right, Miss Shrooms, you got mystery. Miss Mysterious. I don't want to say your name. I'm constantly changing it. All right, we'll get Miss Ruth a card. Anybody else in here that want a card before I have to roll on out? Oh. Miss Ruth, you got strength. Get the elephant there. I love elephants. Oh no, that's what I was telling somebody the other day too. I was like, everybody's so fired up lately. I'm like, it's like way, I don't know if it's because all the empathic energies are so turned on. I'm gonna get one card for the collective and then roll out. But one of my friends on Instagram went to the zoo, and it was like every exhibit she passed, the turtles were going at it. And she goes, oh, if that wasn't bad enough, look, the bears are going at it too. Oh, look, these animals are going at it. She was like, what is happening? She's like, maybe we shouldn't have gone to the zoo on the solstice. All the animals are banging as they're trying to drive their kids through the zoo. I thought it was funny. Miss Cat. Got dream. All right. And for the collective, bravery. I don't know why I just had the thought with this card. It was in one of the poems I wrote a long time ago, something along the lines of, everyone I ever loved has carved their initials on my heart. And with this bravery card, I always get the don't be afraid to love. Right? Because bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It's doing it even though you're scared. Got messenger here. That was stuck to the table. All right, y'all. I'm going to run off now and go get some stuff done with my day. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. Thank you guys for being here today. I love y'all. And yeah, I'll be back just as soon as I can. I promise.